Getting live streams going.
Got a text on your phone saying password expired. Link look weird, but your thumb feel wired. They fishing for the keys to your whole damn life. One tap, now they swimming in your bank late night. Dear customer, copy paste same line. Spelled your name wrong, can't even fake the design. Buzz in your pocket, yo, click for the check, click for the virus, click, lose respect.
Scamaware 101, Jared, break it down. If it sound too sweet, better turn it around.
Easy cash, fast love, miracle and cash. Hit the lead, not the link, we ain't falling for that.
Scamaware 101, say it with your chest. Call them out, got the number, treat it like a test.
If your gut say run, then you follow that drum. Scamaware, class has begun.
You must go to the store and buy gift cards.
Stop! It's a scam!
My uncle works at a hedge fund and gives me insider trading tips. Download this trading app.
Stop! It's a scam!
My bank suddenly needs my password, my PIN, and my first pet's social security number.
Stop! It's a scam!
This is urgent. You can't hang up.
Get lost, scammer.
They slide in your DMs, hey friend, long time. Photo look perfect, but the grammar ain't right. Click this link, your package on hold, but you never ordered. That story feel old. They rush you, they push you, act fast, don't wait. Soon as there's pressure, you step on the brakes. Dare break it down, plain talk, no gloss. If they hate your questions, that's your sign to walk off. Red flags, listen when he talks. Dare got the map when the road feels dark. If it sounds too sweet, then you step back smart. We don't get scammed, yeah, we guard our hearts. Hey, red flags, learn them by heart. Scam awareness class, that's the hardest part. But he slow it right down, so we all take charge. We don't get scammed, we don't get scarred.
You must go to the store and buy gift cards.
Stop! It's a scam!
My uncle works at a hedge fund and gives me insider trading tips. Download this trading app.
Stop! It's a scam!
My bank suddenly needs my password, my PIN, and my first pet's social security number.
Stop! It's a scam!
This is urgent. You can't hang up.
Get lost, scammer.
Yo, it's Jared in the booth, spitting scammer with truth. They fishing in your inbox, man, they stealing your youth. Phishing emails, got that urgent in the line. Click that link and your bank account's not fine. Fake tech support, they call you at noon. Your PC's infected, yeah, they're singing that tune. Pig butchering scams, back wallets to slice. Invest in the fake love, but you're paying the price. Scamaware 101, keep your eyes wide open. If the deal seems sweet, man, they're probably hoping. Snatch your cash, then you broken despair. Stay woke, my beautiful man, these crooks don't care.
You must go to the store and buy gift cards.
Stop! It's a scam!
My uncle works at a hedge fund and gives me insider trading tips. Download this trading app.
Stop! It's a scam!
My bank suddenly needs my password, my PIN, and my first pet's social security number.
Stop! It's a scam!
This is urgent. You can't hang up.
Get lost, scammer.
It's your bank, message on your phone. Jared says pause, don't tap that alone. Spelling kinda shaky, logo looks strange. Why they in a hurry, what's the real game? Dave Cruz jumps in, check that URL. Little extra letter, rings like a bell. If they want your code, that's your front door key. Real ones never ask, just trust me. Scam awareness 101, we don't click quick, we don't just run. Stop, read it line by line. If it smells off, then hit decline. Scam awareness 101, learn the tricks, then tell someone.
Started soon. Less than 30 seconds.
John gets a call, your grandkid stuck. Voice sounds shaky, begging $4. Jared hits speaker, ask one more thing. What's their middle name? What's their first dog spring? Nigella's on email, congrats, you won. Prize looks fancy, fees day one.
All right, let's do it. It's Thursday. You know what that means. Time for some scam awareness, live stream tips, cybersecurity, keeping you safe from the scammers. Your first time joining, welcome to the live stream. I'm Jared with Scamware 101. Our mission here is to spread awareness of common scams that target individuals like you, me, your friends, your family, because we're being targeted all day long from all different directions. Email scams, phone call scams, text message scams, even snail mail scams. They still use the post office. That didn't go anywhere. The scammers are attacking us from every direction. It's important to be able to recognize these scams. Over here at Scamware 101, we believe that knowledge is your best defense against scams. And part of the way we spread awareness is doing this live stream every week. We're going to be streaming for about 2 hours, sharing all sorts of examples of scams, going to red flags to help you identify these scams and stop them. So hit that like button, stay tuned, invite some more friends to the live stream. Let's get some more people in here. If you're on Facebook, share the live stream on Facebook. The more, the merrier. So let's get started. Let's dive right into it, huh? Let's start with these fake Evite scams that have been circulating lately. This one's scammers. They send these fake Evite emails impersonating popular services like Evite and Punchbowl. The realistic-looking emails, they'll include a malicious link that downloads malware or steals a victim's login details. We've got a few reports from this coming from quite a few different people here, because how this scam works, it actually infects your device and then starts targeting your friends and your contacts. So you get these fake invites that they look legit, right? They'll have an Evite logo up top or a Punchbowl logo up top. See these examples on the screen here. They even have a little envelope that says you're invited. And there's buttons that say open invitation or RSVP now. But that's how the scam works. When you click those buttons, you actually either get infected with malware or virus, or you get your login stolen. You get taken to a fake web page that steals your login. And then once you're infected with the same virus, it starts targeting everybody in your contacts. So your friends, your family, they start getting emails from you looking like you're inviting them to some kind of special occasion. And that's how this scam spreads. So be aware of this one. You never want to click these suspicious links, especially if you weren't expecting the invite from someone. And even though it looks legit with these logos, you still have to be suspicious, right? Always be suspicious of emails that you weren't expecting. Never trust the links in emails. If you avoid clicking them, don't click the links. Very important. You can hear me say that a lot this evening during the live stream. And it's good to enable multi-factor authentication on your email, MFA, because then if somebody steals your login, it makes it that much harder for them to log in. So it's best practices to set up MFA under your email and any other important logins. So be aware of that. And look, this one's tricky because the email, it'll look like it actually came from your friend or your family member, right? It'll come from their email address. And that's actually a red flag because real Evites would actually come from evite.com or punchbowl.com. They wouldn't actually come from someone's email address, right? So it's actually a red flag if you get one of these invites and it's coming from a friend's email address instead of Punchbowl or Evite. So watch out for this one. It's pretty common. It's been circulating lately. It's starting to pick up a little bit more. Lots of reports coming in about this one. And don't fall for it. Warn your friends. You know, if you get one of these, you're not sure if it's real or not, reach out to the person first and confirm that they actually sent you this or not. That's the best thing you could do to stay safe from this one. So watch out, be aware, don't fall for these fake Evite scams that are circulating. And by the way, if you're joining for the first time, if you want to hear about any specific scams, let me know in the chat. If you have any questions, tell me in the chat. I'm monitoring the YouTube chat, even though we are streaming on Facebook and Instagram as well. But I'm monitoring the YouTube chat, so hop on over there and say hi in the chat. And then share any stories, ask any questions. Hey, we got Rob, awesome. Got Rue in the house. Look at that. Sent flow state for 200 joules. Excellent. This next scam we're going to talk about, these are actually social media scams. These are important to be aware of. These social media scams, we're going to go over some examples. They're actually in the Facebook comments. And there's so many scams on these social media sites. Even though we're going to pick on Facebook a little bit, you have to be aware on all these social media sites and watch out for these types of scams. So here's a bunch of examples for you. And we're going to start with these fake prize and sweepstakes scams. And you'll see in the comments here, a lot of times these scammers, they impersonate other people and other groups. The first example impersonates a Reba McEntire fan club. It says, "Congratulations, you have been selected as one of the random winners. Your name has appeared on the winning list. Please get back to me upon receiving this message." It's a scam. Don't do it. They're trying to trick you, right? The next one impersonates the Eagle 100.9, which is a radio station. It says, "Jessica, congratulations on being chosen as today's winner. Visit my page." It's a scam. Don't trust it. Right? Next one, Toby Mac giveaways. "Lorraine, you won. Visit my profile." Don't trust it. It's a scam. Right. And the whole point of these comments that are being left, that maybe they're commenting on one of your posts or they're replying to one of your comments, right, is that they're trying to get you to engage and interact with them. If they message you directly, it's probably going to get blocked by Facebook. So they leave these comments, try and bypass that. If you message them or if you add them to your friends, they're going to target you with their scam. And a lot of times the way these fake lottery and sweepstakes scams work is they make you think you're entitled to some big prize, right? But first they say you have to pay fees and taxes on it. Right. And once you pay those fees and taxes, the scammer ghosts you and you never get any prize. So there's a very common scam on and off social media. Lots of phone calls circulating, impersonating Publishers Clearinghouse. Right. Lots of fake letters being sent out claiming that you won a free prize. Just scan this QR code. Be skeptical. It's a big red flag if you didn't enter a sweepstakes and suddenly you're being contacted saying you won. Right. So be aware of that one. Don't fall for it, especially if some random stranger is leaving comments telling you won some kind of prize. Right, that's fishy. Be suspicious. Another type of scam you might run into on social media is just harmful links being left in the comments. And in these examples here, these are actually impersonating. They're claiming, well, they're leaving these comments on news posts, right? Breaking news. And what happens is they take advantage of the confusion and what's unknown about what's going on. And they leave a comment and they say, "I saw it all unfold live. Here's raw footage they're not showing." And then there's a link to a fake website, right? Or they'll say, "I managed to record the moment it happened." And then they put another link to a fake website. Or, "I froze for a second, then hit the record button. This is what I saw." And there's a link to the fake website, right? They're taking advantage of what's not known and the breaking news that's occurring. People want to get the information as fast as possible. So they get tempted to click these links. And these links actually look like they point to a news website, but they don't. Right? They point to a fake website. It's going to infect with malware or steal your logins. So never trust links that strangers is posting in the comments. And this is the second type of scam you might run into on social media. And then another one, and this one's probably one of the most common ones here, is they leave comments requesting you to add them as a friend or to send them a message. Right? And again, the reason they're doing that is they're trying to bypass the filters that would have blocked them otherwise. So here's some examples for you. All right. This comment says, "Hello, sorry for the inconvenience. I saw your profile. It was really very interesting. You seem like a great person, so I'd really like to have you as a friend. I think we can keep in touch since I'm here on Facebook. Please send me a friend request." Don't do it. It's a scam. They're trying to get you to engage with them. And once you have them as a friend, they can message you all they want and start targeting you with the scam. Right? There's another one. "Jim, I have some questions for you. Could you please send me a private message or add me as a friend?" Don't do it. You don't know this person. All right. And then third one here. "Debbie, text me on messages, please. I just want to ask you something important. It's private, if okay with you." Don't do it. Right? You text these people, you add them as a friend, they're going to start targeting you with their scams. And believe it or not, some of the most dangerous types of scams start with something as simple as one of these comment requests. Right? Because a lot of times they end up turning into romance scams or pig butchering scams, which we're going to talk about next. Right? So look, be careful on social media. Don't fall for these strangers that are sending you messages and trying to get you to click links. All right? It's very common. There's so many scams on social media. You got to keep that guard up. Don't fall for these fake profiles that are claiming they're going to get you free tickets to Reba McEntire or something, right? Don't fall for it. So let's talk about pig butchering scams. This is one scammer. They build a fake friendship with somebody. They gain trust first with them. And it's a long-term deception scam. And the thing about these long-term deception scams is they'll put in the time. They'll spend a week or two, message you every day, acting like you're a friend, asking you how your day was, telling you about their day, right? But it's all with the intent of once they gain your trust in a week or two, they're going to hit you with a investment scam, right? And there's some common narratives that go along with these investment scams. They'll say that their aunt or uncle is an expert investor, right? If you hear that, run. That's part of the playbook. That's part of the script that these scammers use. Okay. Sometimes they'll say that they have a private investment group or invitation only group for you to join. It's sketchy, right? Don't trust it. Sometimes they'll say they learned how to do these trades overseas. So it sounds like they have some kind of knowledge that most people don't, but it's all part of the scam trying to get you interested in their fake investment. And these investment scams, they start from something as simple as a comment on social media or a wrong number text message, which we'll talk about those later as well. But one of the real dangerous things about this type of scam is that they'll give you a website to sign up for or an app to download, right? And it'll look legit. It'll look like a legit investment website, a legit investment app, right? And they'll have you dump your money into it and they'll show returns, but they're all fake, right? So you think that you're getting returns, these amazing returns on your investment, but it's all fake, right? It's designed to make you want to invest more. Sometimes they'll even let you withdraw some of the money. This way you think, wow, this must be real. I mean, they let me take out some of the money, right? But that's all part of the scam because they want to take everything you have. So they don't care if you withdraw a couple $100, if that's going to convince you to dump in 30,000, right? So watch out for these crypto pig butchering scams. It doesn't, keep in mind, you know, they spend weeks building up trust with you first. And then they hit you with the, hey, you should join my investment group, right? These scammers, they use photos, AI photos. They use AI videos, right? They use AI to change their voice and appearance. I'm going to show you that in a couple minutes, so stay tuned. But look, in 2024, consumers over the age of 60 years, right? And this is just the ones over 60, lost over $744 million to this type of scam. And it's even more last year, right? And that's only consumers over the age of 60. That doesn't even include the younger folks out there. And I hate to break it to the younger folks out there, but you guys actually fall for more scams than the older folks do, believe it or not, right? The latest report, it confirmed that the younger folks fall for more scams. The older folks are losing more money, though, because the older folks have more money saved up and more money to steal, all right? So everybody is vulnerable to falling for a scam. And if you think you're too smart to fall for one, that's what the scammers are counting on, all right? So watch out for these pig butchering scams. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Be suspicious. Let's talk about romance scams, because this is actually a very damaging scam too. Hundreds and thousands of dollars people are losing to this type of scam. And they can start with when fraudsters, they create the fake online profiles or on the dating apps, right? And they manipulate victims into sending money or personal information. And there's some common scam narratives that go along with this. So if you're doing the online dating thing, talking to somebody online, and they tell you they can't visit you because they're in the military and deployed overseas, that's a huge red flag. That's part of their scam playbook. They say that they're in the military, deployed overseas, because it's a great excuse for them not to be able to meet you, right? They'll say they're an oil rig contractor stationed on an offshore rig, right? Very common scam narrative that these romance scammers use. They'll say they're an international worker. They're working overseas on a business. A recent report we looked at a couple weeks ago said the scammer claimed that they were with doctors, Doctors with No Borders, right? So they were stationed overseas doing the Doctors with No Borders thing. But those are all common narratives that these romance scammers use, not to be able to meet with you in person. Okay, do not send these people money. Do not send money to someone you haven't met in person. Okay, and these victims, they get targeted on social media. Just those comments I showed you earlier. They get targeted from fake dating profiles and dating apps. Wrong number scams, which again, we're going to talk about the wrong number scams. It's important to know about that one. Right? But eventually, as this scammer builds up the person's trust, gets them romantically interested, they start fabricating excuses of and emergencies. Right? They'll say they need money for medical bills. They'll say they need money for legal issues. They'll say they want to come visit you, but they need money to resolve some visa or passport fees, some flight or travel expenses. That's all part of the scam to steal your money. So don't give anybody money that you haven't met. These scammers are using AI. They're sending you fake pictures, right? You think you're talking to a beautiful woman, and it turns out to be some dude in Pakistan, right? With AI, they can do that now. I'm going to show you some examples of that in a minute, actually, some AI videos to make you aware of how crazy it is, right? They could use AI to change their voice. AI has really helped these scammers do their thing. But look, a lot of times these romance scammers, they'll ask you for gift cards. We'll talk about that more in a little bit. They'll ask you for Bitcoin. Another common one, they ask you to go to Walmart and load up a OnePay account. That's starting to be a common payment method that people are asking for, these scammers. All right, so be aware of all that. Never send money to strangers, never send money to somebody you haven't met. And there's an interesting documentary about this on Netflix too. It's called The Tinder Swindler, so check that one out. It's about romance scams, and look, people getting scammed at hundreds of thousands of dollars by these romance scammers. So don't fall for it. Now let's talk a little bit about AI. Right? I mentioned that these scammers, they're using AI to clone their voice, to make videos, images, to make their scams more believable. And just to show you how good this AI is, I created an AI video of myself. I cloned myself. Right? So here I am on an oil rig. Let's watch this video real quick.
Hey, I just wanted to explain why I'm hard to reach sometimes. I'm back out on the rig again, and the signal out here is pretty unreliable. It's loud, it's busy, and I don't always get a chance to talk like I want to. But I didn't want you to think I was ignoring you. I'm not.
I've never been on an oil rig in my life. I don't own a yellow hard hat or a orange vest. But there I am. Looking pretty convincing, pretty real. That's my voice. It's my face. But that's AI, right? And that's how easy it is for these scammers to create AI videos of themselves and trick people with their romance scams and their pig butchering scams, right? Sorry, I can't visit you. I'm on an oil rig. But hey, can you send me some money? Don't fall for it. Right? You can't trust anything. You always have to verify now. Here's a quick clip about voice cloning. It only takes 20 seconds of someone's voice to clone it. And then it gets used in things like grandparent scams. You think of a family or a friend is calling in, it's actually a scammer that cloned the voice. So there's a recent media clip about that. Let's take a listen.
He says criminals just need a 20-second clip of someone talking, often pulled from social media, and they can make an eerily similar clone of their voice.
All the way to the point that a mother can't tell the difference between her own child and a machine.
It was just exactly like Noah. It was unbelievable. It's scary.
Jerry Scally got a call from his grandson Noah last month saying that he was having a very bad morning.
I said, what happened? What's wrong? He says, I was involved in a car accident and I have a broken nose.
But then Scally thought something sounded off about the voice. The person on the call spoke a little slower than his grandson, so he hung up and likely avoided a scam. His grandson was actually at school just fine.
These are sophisticated groups of people. They're often overseas. They're working out of an office building.
IDIQ says voice cloning scams are relatively new. They've only started getting reports about them within the past year.
The worst part of this is every week we're getting more calls. We're seeing more victims. And the reason we're seeing more victims is because it's effective.
All right, so AI is taking everything to a whole new level, including scams. So keep that guard up. Be aware. You can't believe everything you see now. Even those text messages that you used to get with spelling errors or bad grammar, they just use AI to generate them now. Right? Those phone calls, the scammer phone calls, they used to be able to rely on picking up an accent. Right? Now they just use AI to generate them and they sound realistic. So always got to verify. Be suspicious, and you can't believe everything that you see now. Let's talk about employment scams. Usually the job listing, it promises great pay, but requires the victim to pay up front for training, supplies, or something else. If they want you to pay up front, it's not a real job. It's probably a scam. Right? And we have a couple examples of some text messages that you might get. There's two examples for you. Hello, my name is Lisa, and I'm a recruiter at CleanSpark. Several recruiting firms have recommended your resume, so our company has an online job for you. This says you could work 30 or 60 minutes per day, and the pay is $200 to $1,000 per day. All right, sounds like a pretty good gig, but it's fake. But something you'll notice about these two text message examples here, the only contact information that they give you is a WhatsApp phone number to call. And WhatsApp is a huge red flag. If the only contact information they have is a WhatsApp phone number, be suspicious. All right, the second example. Hello, this is TikTok Recruitment Center. TikTok is one of the most popular short-form video apps with over 2 billion monthly active users. We need rich talent. We're now hiring 3,000 TikTok backup talents. And it goes on about making $400 a day, $15,000 a month, $15K a month. Not too shabby, right? Too bad it's fake. And this one too, they give you a WhatsApp phone number to call back. So you get these random text messages with these job offers. Don't trust them. It's not normal policy for recruitment agencies just to send out random text messages. offering jobs. It's a big problem that's circulating right now. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. If you get hired for a job, but they're asking you to pay money up front or buy equipment and send it to them, that's suspicious. All right, so best practices is research the company. Apply through official channels. You have to be skeptical when you get these messages. Rob says the only thing WhatsApp should be used for is buying fake Gucci from China. There you go. Allegedly. You buying your wife fake Gucci stuff from China, Rob? Some things never change. Used to go to Canal Street. Now you just get them from China directly. I see how it is. So watch out for these employment scams. Stay informed. Stay safe. Oh, and one other note about these employment scams. There's these scam compounds where people are actually being held and forced to scam people. I'm not even joking. Like, they're actually being held by criminal organizations and they're forced to scam people all day long. And a lot of the victims that ended up getting trafficked and forced to work out of these scam call centers, they replied to a employment ad. They thought they were applying to an employment opportunity overseas, usually in like Thailand or Bangkok or something like that, right? They fly overseas and then they don't realize it, but they end up getting crossed over to the border and they end up in Myanmar or some lawless country, and they end up being held captive and forced to scam people. It's human trafficking. It gets pretty dark, but a lot of that starts just with falling for an employment scam. So watch out for it. Don't get fooled by these fake text messages if you get them. Next scam we're going to talk about is some fake retail website scams. When scammers create fake websites to sell products that are never delivered, like them Gucci chains in China. Victims are lured by unbeatable deals and lose money once they pay. These scams often target holiday shoppers or those seeking trending items. And we have an example here to show you. This is one that screenshot from a fake retail website from over the holidays. You can see it has the Black Friday banner across the top. And it's offering free wireless earbuds, just pay for shipping. And that's a common narrative when it comes to these fake retail websites. They'll make it sound like you get this amazing product that's worth $100, $200, just pay for shipping. But it's a trick to steal your payment details. And there's a lot of ways you could end up on these fake retail websites. You could end up on them from ads on social media, right? Because scammers can purchase ads just like anybody else. Right? So you're scrolling along on Facebook and you see an ad that says free wireless earbuds. You click it, you get taken to this fake website. Search engine results. Scammers purchase sponsored listings. Search engine results, just like anybody else. Right? So maybe you're even searching for wireless earbuds and you get a result on Google, but it takes you to this fake website. It steals your payment details. Emails impersonating vendors. Right? You get an email, valued customer discount, special offer. Right? Free wireless earbuds. Click here. It takes you to a fake website. Even if you're on a website that you know is legit and you trust, they use a third party for ads. So you can see a banner ad on a legit website. The banner ad will say, get your free earbuds. Right? You click it, it takes you to a fake website because they use a third party for advertising. Right? So there's a lot of different ways you can end up on these fake retail websites. If the offer sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Right? If you're going to risk ordering from a website you never ordered from before, check out some reviews, see what people are saying. Right? Do a little research before you go trust a website you never used before. And keep your alert up, especially high during the holidays. These scams are all year round, but they definitely pick up during the holidays too. So be aware of that. Here's another example of a fake retail website. It's a warning from Dominos, right? Because what these scammers were doing is they're creating fake Domino's pizza websites. People were going to Google, typing in Domino's, ending up on a fake website and getting their payment details stolen. So it's just a good example of how scammers, they'll impersonate anybody, right? They're literally impersonating Domino's pizza. Right? Just trying to steal your payment details. So watch out for that. Rob mentions there's going to be a lot of scams coming out with World Cup coming to New Jersey. Yeah, any sporting events, you got to watch out for the fake tickets, especially World Cup. There's going to be plenty of fake tickets going around. But yeah, any kind of event, lots of scammers selling fake tickets. Next scam we're going to talk about here, fake order scams. This is when victims receive, this one's super dangerous, by the way. We're going to spend a couple minutes on this one. Victims receive a fake notification that an order was made under their account. When the victim calls to dispute the fake order, a scammer impersonates customer support and attempts to steal their personal and financial details. And I think that's so dangerous about this type of scam, these fake order scams, is that we're being targeted from all directions. We're being targeted with phone calls, with text messages, with emails, right? And the scammer could claim to be from any vendor, and they could claim any item was purchased, right? But here's a couple examples for you. So here's a text message impersonating Apple. It says, "We have noticed that your Apple iCloud ID was recently used at the Apple Store for $143. And then it goes on to say, call this number immediately to cancel the charge if it's not you. Right? So people get this message and they think, I didn't place an order. I better call this number. They think they're calling Apple, but they're actually calling a call center full of scammers. Right? And they'll go into this whole narrative about how your identity's been stolen, and they'll try to get you to withdraw all your money from the bank. It gets pretty deep, right? But it all starts with a text message claiming an order was placed. And they try to trick you into calling these numbers. Never trust a phone number that you got through a text message or left on a voicemail, right? If you want to call Apple, go check your Apple account directly, or look up their customer service number and contact them through their official phone number. But you can't trust these phone numbers that you get in text message or emails, because that's all part of the scam. They're trying to trick you into calling a number that's not really customer support. It's actually scammers. And that's what happened to this victim right here. I have a victim's story to share with you, who fell for this fake order scam. It's a 23-year-old Lincoln woman reported losing $4,100 after falling victim to an identity fraud scam in July. Right, notice the age, 23-year-old. Right, I'm telling you, the younger folks, they're falling for a lot of scams. Don't think that that you're immune to these scams. So anyway, the scam began with an email claiming she had purchased an iPhone. The woman called the number provided in the email to dispute the purchase, right? So she thinks she's calling Apple to dispute an iPhone purchase, but she's actually talking to scammers and doesn't realize it, right? And that's how the scam works. That's how they get you. They make you think that an order was placed on your account, and they trick you into calling a phone number that's not really customer support. It's actually scammers. And what's interesting about this victim's story is the article goes on to say, once she's talking to these scammers, they're impersonating customer support, she was informed someone was using her identity. And then the scammers connected the woman to a person posing as a CIA agent who instructed her to withdraw $3,600 from her bank account. The next day, she was directed to use that money at Walmart to purchase gift cards and send photos and receipts. Very common tactic that scammers use. They try to get you to purchase gift cards. So it's always a red flag. But anyway, see how it works? She gets an email saying an iPhone was purchased. Oh, it wasn't you. Call this number. She calls the number. It's actually scammers. And she got scammed out of $4,100, right? It's a classic fake order scam. Hey, Katie, welcome to live stream. Always good to see you. Here a little early this time. Let's talk about some fake order scams here. I actually have two examples of phone call versions of this scam, right? So we talked about the text message version. We heard about a victim who fell for the email version. Well, here's two phone call examples that I'm going to play for you right now. Right, this first one impersonates Amazon, and it claims a MacBook Pro was purchased under your account. So let's take a listen to this. And this phone call is actively circulating. It's been circulating for years. It's still circulating. Hey, Jamie. Welcome to the live stream. Good to see you.
This call is to authorize the payment of $1,499 for the recent order of Apple MacBook Pro on your Amazon account. If you do not authorize this payment, please press 1 to speak to our customer support representative.
So that's an example of a fake order scam phone call. Now, if you press 1, you're actually going to connect to scammers. Right? So see how that works? They're trying to trick you into making you think a purchase was made. And then when you press 1, you actually get connected to scammers. Let's listen to a second example. This one impersonates Walmart, and they claim a PlayStation was purchased.
We are trying to contact you concerning an unverified purchase of PlayStation 5 Special Edition bundled with Pulse 3D headset being ordered from your Walmart account for an amount of $859.50. If you did not authorize this transaction or wish to cancel, please press 1 or return our call on same number at your earliest convenience.
All right, so those are two examples of phone calls that are actually scams. They try to trick you into pressing 1 to talk to a scammer or to call back a number that's shown on caller ID, right? But that's all part of the scam. But you can see how, you get a phone call that says that $1,500 was charged to your card. Some people might react quickly and press 1 without thinking about it, not even realizing they're getting connected to a scammer. So these fake order scams, very dangerous. They can claim to be calling from anywhere. They can claim anything was purchased. All right. So if you find yourself in a situation where you're going to phone call like this or text message like this, what you should do is you should check your account directly, right? If they're impersonating Amazon, they're impersonating Apple, go check your account directly and see if there's actually anything suspicious. Call customer service back directly, right? Through their official phone number. Again, don't trust any phone numbers that these messages leave, right? Don't press 1 to be connected because you don't know who you're being connected to. It's going to be a scammer, right? So be aware of these phone calls if you get them. They're actively circulating, and people losing a lot of money to these types of scams, these fake order scams. So spread the word. Grandparent scam. So these grandparent scams, these are one of the most heinous scams in my opinion, because they're called the grandparent scam because they actually target your grandparents, right? And they use the kids and grandkids as bait to trick the grandparents. And basically what happens is the scammers impersonate a distressed relative, claiming to have been arrested in an accident and needing help. Victims, usually seniors, act quickly to assist their loved ones. The scammers often impersonate law enforcement, court personnel, and lawyers to extract as much as they can from the victim. Right? So they want to take everything that the victim has. Right? And I actually have a video here of a grandparent scammer. Right? So the video we're about to watch is, let me just frame it for you here. It's a grandparent scammer from the Dominican Republic. And he's performing a grandparent scam. And the reason we're able to watch him do this is because there was a YouTuber. He goes by name Scam Sandwich. You could check out his stuff. Highly recommended. But he hacked into the scammer's computer and watched him and recorded him through his webcam. So this clip we're about to watch is of an actual scammer in the Dominican Republic. And you could hear him attempting to perform a grandparent scam on the victim. And I got to tell you, before I saw this video, I was probably like most people, and I was like, well, I would know if a family member was calling me and, who would fall for that. But after watching this video, you could kind of understand how someone could fall for this, right? So let's watch this video. Oh, and by the way, I think that the victim was going to fall for it. Other people say that they don't think she was. Let me know in the chat what you think if she was going to fall for the scam or not. But let's take a listen here.
Oh, Mom, I had a car accident.
Huh?
I had a car accident, Mom.
Is this Linda?
It's me, Linda.
Where are you?
I got a car accident.
What happened?
I'm gonna put the officer on. I got arrested.
You got arrested?
Hi, ma'am.
Yes.
Hi, are you Linda's mom?
Yes.
What I'm gonna need you to do is grab a pen and paper and write down Linda's case number, ma'am. I need you to hurry up, please, ma'am.
Case number?
It's the number 2.
2?
The letter B as in boy. Can you read that back to me?
2, B.
Now, I'm gonna read what's going on, ma'am, okay?
Okay.
Linda was involved in a car accident. It was stated in the police report. She admitted that was her fault. While she was driving, she was using her phone. That's what caused the accident, ma'am, okay?
Oh, man.
The woman that was driving the other vehicle was 7 months pregnant. We had to rush her into the nearby hospital. She might lose her baby.
Oh, really?
Yes. Now, we actually confiscating her cell phone for legal evidence so she cannot receive or cannot make calls. This is going to be her only last call. Are you with me, ma'am?
Yes, I am.
Now, she actually wrote a note down here saying that she didn't want anyone to know about this. Let's honor her wish for right now because it's too much for her right now. That's what she's saying.
Okay.
What I'm going to need you to do, ma'am, is stay by the phone and wait for the lawyer to call, okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye, ma'am.
All right, bye.
That's an actual scammer attempting a grandparent scam. By the way, the person that he called. She didn't fall for the scam. She didn't lose anything. The YouTuber was able to warn her, so she actually didn't lose any money to the scammer. But it's a great example of how they perform these grandparent scams and how they convince someone that they're actually talking to a loved one, right? When he's impersonating the loved one, he's impersonating someone who's distressed. It could have sounded like anybody's loved one crying. You know, everybody sounds the same when they're freaking out and crying, right? So that's how they convince people that they're talking to their loved one. They switch over to impersonating a police officer, right? Notice how they said they confiscated the cell phone, so don't try calling. That's all part of the trick. All part of the trick to try and trick the victim into not confirming, right? And also he says he requested secrecy, right? He said, oh, she's embarrassed about this. Don't tell anybody. That's also part of the trick. It's actually a red flag. These scammers, they love to request secrecy because they don't want you to talk to anybody. We'll talk about that more when we go over red flags, though. So anyway, watch out for these grandparent scams. If you're the parent or the grandparent out there, be aware of them, right? If you're the kids or the grandkids, make sure your parents or grandparents are aware of this one, right? You don't want to get your inheritance stolen by these scammers, all right? Next batch of scams we're going to talk about here is various travel scams, vehicle scams, parking scams, right? And we're going to start with the road toll scams. This one started picking up a couple years ago. It's when scammers impersonate road toll services, Easy Pass, SunPass, Fast Track, and they claim an unpaid toll is due. Victims usually contacted by text message or email containing a link to pay, but the email opens a fake website that steals personal and financial information from the victim. There never was an unpaid toll. I have a bunch of examples of these to share with you. And this is one of those, they call it a spray and pray scam, right? Because they're just sending out the same messages to hundreds and thousands of phone numbers, and it's a numbers game. They know a certain amount of people are gonna fall for this scam. I think Katie mentioned in the past that, you know, she doesn't drive, but she gets these text messages all the time, right? Because they just send them out to everybody because they know a certain amount of people will fall for them. And what the text messages might say, here are some real examples. Notice of toll evasion. You have an unpaid toll bill on your account. To avoid late fees, pay within 12 hours or late fees will be increased and reported to the DMV. Right? They always have some kind of threat trying to get you to react. The vehicle has an unpaid toll bill. To avoid excessive late fees on your bill, please sell it promptly. Thank you for your cooperation. There's a fake link to click. Unpaid tolls. Failure to pay $3.99 toll may result in further penalties. Easy Drive, Massachusetts. Reminder. Your bill for $6.99 is due soon. Please visit. It's got the fake link to click. Right? And look, at this point, we've seen them impersonate pretty much every toll service there is, from SunPass, Peach Pass, Quick Pass, Good to Go, Easy Pass, North Texas Tollway, Fast Track, Drive Easy Maryland, Department of Motor Vehicles, Department of Transportation, the list goes on. All right, so you get any text messages like these, don't click the link, don't trust the link. You know, this isn't typically how they're going to notify you, but you know, if you want to verify it, check the app directly, go to the official website, but don't trust links. Don't trust links in text messages that you weren't expecting. Also, notice how on these texts, there's an instruction at the end. Please reply yes, then exit the text message and reopen it. That's a red flag too. We're going to talk about that one later, but I just wanted to point that out. It's very common for there to be an instruction at the end of these scam text messages. They try to trick you into replying. So what's interesting about this unpaid road toll scam, it kind of evolved over the years. It evolved into an outstanding traffic ticket scam, right? So now they impersonate law enforcement and they claim you owe unpaid traffic fines, right? They'll pressure victims with threats and arrest, license suspension, court action, unless immediate payment is made. And I have a few examples of those to show you here too. Nebraska Department of Vehicles. Enforcement penalties begin July 21st. Our records show that as of today, you still have an outstanding traffic ticket in accordance with Nebraska State Administrative Code 15C-16. If you do not complete payment by July 20th, we will take the following actions. Right? And this is where they start using the threats to try and scare people into reacting. Report to DMV violation database. Suspend your vehicle registration. Suspend driving privileges. Transfer to a toll booth and charge a 35% service fee. You may be prosecuted. Your credit score will be affected. Right? All these scary things. So people get this scam text message and they react. They click the link and they don't realize they're actually getting their payment details stolen. Right next to it, the second example, it's actually identical to the first one here. They just swapped out the state. Illinois Department. Final notice, enforcement penalties begin July 25th, right? And same threats, same everything, just switched out the state, right? Because once these scams show up in one state, they're probably circulating in all the others, right? And the one next to it, final notice, unpaid traffic violation, payment required by January 19th. There's a final notice for an unpaid traffic violation under New Jersey law. Failure to pay by deadline will trigger enforcement actions. If payment is not made by the due date, the following consequences will apply. And it's pretty much the same threats in the last two examples here. So don't be pressured by the scary language and the scary threats. They're clicking that link. You never want to click these links, right? If you're concerned that you really have a traffic ticket, reach out directly to whoever they're claiming, right? But don't trust these links. Don't trust phone numbers. Only contact the official agencies. But again, this isn't how they would notify you anyway, right? You're going to get a ticket in the mail. So, and another example, fake parking ticket scam. And this one's pretty new, the examples I'm going to show you. They've only been around for a couple months here. It's when these fake parking tickets, they're emailed or texted, and there's an attachment. An attachment with a QR code. And it looks really official, right? These more recent ones, they have the state seals at the top of them, state of New Jersey, state of Massachusetts. And it's a whole legal looking document with a court date and everything. It has a court date, the court address. It is alleged that the operator or registered owner of the motor vehicle committed a violation related to parking regulations and or failed to pay an assessed electronic toll. Required actions. All right, and then it has a QR code to scan. I'm always curious if anybody showed up to court thinking this was real. But this one started popping up in people's email boxes and text messages as a file attachment. Started circulating a couple months ago, and there's 3 examples: New Jersey, Massachusetts, Florida, but there's every state. At this point, there's a version for each state circulating now. So even if you get these notices, they look super real, super legit, you have to be suspicious. Don't trust them. In fact, I'm going to zoom in here. You'll notice that they actually used AI to generate these state seals. Because if you zoom in, it's not real letters. It's kind of gibberish. But it's a good example of how these scammers are using AI to make their scams seem more realistic, right? So be aware of this one if you get it. You should never open attachments that you weren't expecting. Text message and email attachments. But if you do, and it's one of these, don't trust it. There's a common scam that's actively circulating. Another version of these fake parking ticket scams is they'll actually leave a physical piece of paper, a fake parking ticket, on your car. Right? And this is a real example over here. So leave a fake parking violation on your car. It has a QR code on it to scan. And then they steal your payment details that way. So you have to be careful out in public as well. But just because it's a physical piece of paper doesn't mean it's real. Always be suspicious of QR codes in public. We see this a lot in major cities. Like this example was in Houston. I've seen other examples like in Denver. So we see this a lot in cities. You scan that QR code, you get taken to the fake website, steals your payment details. And this last example of a vehicle parking type scam. This one's kind of interesting. So this warning came out in 2024. This is an older warning. It still holds true today though, right? So scammers, what they're doing is they're printing out these fake malicious QR codes and they're putting them on parking meters, right? So you know how nowadays you go to pay for parking and everything's on an app, right? You scan the QR code and it takes you to the app on your phone. Well, what these scammers do is they put their malicious QR code, they put it on top of the one on the parking meter. So you scan it, you think you're paying for parking, but you're actually getting your payment details stolen, right? And then to add insult to injury, you come back from the restaurant or wherever you were at, and your car's towed because you didn't pay for parking, right? And you get a real ticket. So be suspicious of QR codes in public, parking meters, flyers. You always want to inspect the QR code, see if there's any signs of tampering. And look, if you could avoid scanning the QR code altogether, that's what I recommend, right? If you already have the parking app on your phone, just open up the app directly. Don't even bother scanning the code. So be aware of that. You know, these scammers are clever. They're always thinking of new ways to get you, and that's one of the ways, is replacing legit QR codes with their malicious ones. Again, that warning came out from the BBB a couple of years ago. It's only gotten worse ever since. So, how we all doing out there? Say hi in the chat if you're watching. Your first time joining, welcome to the live stream. I'm Jared with Scamware 101. Our mission over here is to spread awareness about common scams that target individuals, you, me, your friends, your family, because we're being targeted from all directions. So, and we believe knowledge is your best defense. So what we try to do on this live stream every week, we usually go for about 2 hours. And we share tons of examples, warn you about recent scams. Because if you see them, you're more likely to identify them and recognize them when you're being targeted, right? So live stream is jam-packed with text message examples, email examples, as you can see. Phone call examples that we just played and stuff. Tons more coming up. So still plenty of time. Invite some more people in here. Get some more friends invited. Share the live stream. Hit that like button. Oh, by the way, I don't think I mentioned it yet. We have some merch available too. You get yourself a Scamware 101 coffee mug, water bottles, mouse pads, stickers. It's available on our YouTube store. Help support the mission over here. We have super chats enabled over on YouTube. We have some memberships enabled too if you want to sign up for a monthly membership. Shout out to Katie and Dave, the 2 members out there. Appreciate you both. You can also donate directly too. Scamware101.com/donate. Oh, and most importantly, you join our free mailing list. You head on over to scamware101.com and hit join mailing list. It's free to join. And we'll send you reminders when we're going live and some scam awareness tips. So definitely take a minute, join the free mailing list. Scamware101.com. Follow us on all of your favorite social media platforms. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Threads, Instagram, Blue Sky X. Just trying to put something good out there. So appreciate anything, any support we could get. So next up, we're going to talk about some common red flags to help you recognize and stop scams. And look, knowing these red flags are super important because a lot of times it's your only chance to stop the scam. Some of them are your last chance to stop the scam. So we're going to talk about 10 red flags. We also have videos about these red flags too on our YouTube channel. So if you want to share these red flags, you go check out those videos. We've got 2 of them, going over five red flags in each. We're going to talk about 10 of them right here, right now. Starting with red flag number 1. They create a sense of urgency using fear and threats. They insist on immediate action. And we've already seen that in some of the examples that we've gone over already, right? Because the thing is, scammers try to create urgency and fear because those emotions push people to react quickly without taking the time to think, right? As the more panic and pressure scammers can create, the faster a victim's going to hand over money and information. And we see that in tons of examples, right? The Grandparent scam they just went over. Victims think a loved one has been in an accident or is in trouble, so they act quickly to help and assist, right? But that's all part of the scam. They get this fake sense of urgency and fear created, so they react. Right? Arrest warrant scams, we're going to talk about those in a little bit. But if someone thinks they're going to get arrested, they're likely to react quickly, all right? Or not think it through. They just want to pay it and be gone with it, but they don't realize they're being scammed, right? Bank impersonation scams. A lot of times the scammers make you think your money's not safe. They think that someone's already got access to your bank account. And if you don't transfer that money now, the scammer's going to get it, right? It's all this false sense of urgency and fear because they want to get you to react, right? So it's a big red flag if someone you're talking to is trying to pressure you into acting now, paying now, insisting on immediate action, right? Trying to create urgency and fear. Don't fall for it. Don't be pressured by their tactics. It's very common. So that's red flag number 1. They create a sense of urgency using fear and threats. They insist on immediate action. Like you saw that in the unpaid traffic ticket scams, right? Where they're threatening to suspend your driving license and car registration. Red flag number 2. They request that you keep the matter confidential or secret. It's extremely common for scammers to ask for confidentiality. They don't want you to discuss the situation with other people. The more people you talk to, the more likely you'll be told it's a scam, right? So they want you to keep quiet. They're going to try to keep you on the phone instead of letting you call someone, right? They're going to have these stories to tell you, to give you a reason not to call anybody, right? So like the grandparent scam, for example, they said that they said your relative was embarrassed and asked you not to tell anybody about this, but that's just part of the scam. They're trying to keep you quiet. Investment scams will tell you it's a inside tip and not to share it with anybody, or the price is just for you, right? But that's all part of the scam narrative. They just know if you start telling people about it, they're going to turn around and be like, it sounds like a scam. All right, inheritance scams. A lot of times you get these letters. They impersonate law offices claiming that you're entitled to some kind of inheritance from some long lost relative you never knew, right? And a lot of times these letters, they'll ask you to keep it confidential, right? But who are they to tell you to keep an inheritance confidential? It's all part of the scam, right? The fake fraudulent activity, right? When they impersonate a bank or investigator, they say they're investigating fraud, right? And they'll say that you can't tell anybody about it because you could harm the investigation. But that's all part of the scam. It's just these clever ways to try and get you to keep quiet and keep a secret and keep something confidential, right? Because they just want to steal your money. They don't want you talking to anybody and finding out it's a scam, right? So it's a big red flag when someone's asking you to keep the matter confidential or secret. All right. So that's red flag number 2. Don't fall for it. Red flag number 3. This one's super important. Big red flag here. We recently posted we shared an article on our Facebook page about somebody that, gave a scammer access to their device and it went downhill from there. But basically, red flag number 3 is they ask to connect your PC to assist or investigate an issue, right? Your PC or device, whatever. It's always a red flag when a stranger's asking to connect to your device. Why do these scammers want to access your device? Because it's a gold mine to them, right? They could steal your logins and passwords, right? A lot of you might have your passwords stored, in your browser, right? These scammers get on your computer. They can extract those passwords, those logins. They can steal and encrypt your personal files, your documents, your pictures, right? They can blackmail you if you have embarrassing photos and things on there, right? Which they do. They'll encrypt them. They'll steal them. They'll blackmail you, threaten to send everybody your personal stuff. Okay. And that's all because you granted them access to your device. They'll try to access your banking websites from your device. A lot of times they'll trick you into opening the websites while they're on your computer. So you don't even realize it, but you're showing them all the money you have in your bank accounts that they're going to try and steal. Right. So you never want to let these scammers onto your device. It's always it's a big red flag. Right. And we see this with tech support scams, right? These fake pop-ups on your screen. They say you're infected with a virus, call tech support, right? And it's a fake number. You call up, it's scammers, and they say, let's connect your device. We'll help you with the virus. But if you let them on your device, bad news, right? Fake order scams. We talked about those earlier. A lot of times you call these fake numbers. You don't realize you're talking to a scammer. They'll ask to connect your device to see the notification. Right? It's just a trick to get onto your device. Right? The fake fraudulent activity, when they're impersonating a bank or an investigator, they'll ask to connect your device, and then they'll say, hey, let's check your bank accounts for suspicious activity. Right? And you're opening your bank accounts thinking that they're checking them for you, but they're actually making a note of how much money they're going to steal from you. Right? So you never want to let these strangers onto your device. Yeah. Yeah, Katie's mentioning Kit Bogo and Scammer Payback. They have a lot of good videos about this type of tactic. When the scammers want to connect your device, and so don't fall for this one. Look, what I tell people is, when it comes to letting someone on your device, you should already have your tech support person in mind, right? So if there's ever a situation where somebody's trying to get on your device, maybe you get one of these fake virus pop-ups, right? Don't even be tempted to let somebody else on. Just call your tech support person, right? Maybe it's that family member that's good with computers. Maybe it's the computer shop down the street, right? Maybe it's the person you work with, but you should already have in mind who you're gonna call if the situation comes up where it requires access to your device. So anyway, that's red flag number 3. They ask to connect your PC to assist or investigate an issue. Don't trust it. Be suspicious. Call your tech support person instead. Oh, and by the way, just going back to that one real quick, you give them access to your device. What they could do also, they'll install something on your computer. And then when you're not on your computer, they'll use it to do illegal stuff, right? And it traces back to you. So you never want to let these scammers on your device because you never know what they installed and what they did, once they had access to it. So red flag number 4, this is probably the most important one to be aware of. I say that because it's kind of your last chance to stop the scam. It's they request a payment in gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, or depositing cash at a Bitcoin ATM. Right? So scammers love being paid in these unusual forms of payment because it's easier to move the money and it's much harder to recover the funds after they're sent. And scammers know this. So that's why they ask for these strange forms of payment like gift cards and cryptocurrency, because once you send them a picture of a gift card, they drain the funds right away. You're not going to be able to get that money back. Same thing with cryptocurrency. Once you send it, you can't just pull it back, and scammers know it. So that's why they ask for these unusual forms of payment. And that's why it needs to be a red flag, in your head. If you ever come across a situation where they're asking you for gift cards, cryptocurrency, telling you to go deposit money at a Bitcoin ATM, or telling you to go to Walmart and load a one account, those are all strange, unusual forms of payment, right? It's a big red flag. We see this a lot with IRS and Social Security impersonation scams. And right now you can actually be certain that if somebody's impersonating a government agency and they're asking you to pay with gift cards or cryptocurrency, it's 100% a scam, right? Because right now the government doesn't accept those forms of payment. And maybe in the future they'll accept some cryptocurrency, but right now they don't, right? So if somebody's calling you up claiming to be from the IRS, Social Security, telling you to deposit money at a Bitcoin ATM or purchase gift cards, don't trust, it's a scam. Right? We mentioned earlier romance scammers. They love to ask for gift cards and cryptocurrency. Right? Never send money to someone you don't know. And the bank impersonation scams. They scare these victims into thinking that someone's already got access to your money. They're going to clear out your bank account. You need to withdraw that money now and purchase gift cards, or withdraw that money now and deposit it into a cryptocurrency machine or a Bitcoin ATM. Right? And it's all part of the scam. It's a big red flag when they're asking you for these unusual forms of payment. And again, it's your last chance a lot of times to stop this scam at that point, because next step is you send the money and now it's gone. So super important to recognize that red flag. When they're requesting gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, asking you to deposit money out of Bitcoin ATM, be aware, don't fall for it. Red flag number 5. A voicemail instructs you to call number shown or call number displayed on the caller ID instead of stating an actual phone number. We heard that a little earlier on the fake order phone calls that I was playing for you. Right? And the thing is that the reason why these scammers, they don't leave a phone number. Instead, they say call number displayed. Right? It's because the phone number changes all the time. Right? So it's easier for them just to say call number displayed than to have to change the recording every time their phone number changes. Right? So it's always a big red flag if somebody's leaving a voicemail telling you to call number displayed or call number shown. If it was legit, they would have at least left a phone number to call, a real phone number, right? Instead of just saying call number displayed. So we see that a lot with the fake order notification phone calls. We're in those examples from earlier. A lot of times we'll see that with utility, internet, and cable provider scams. They're impersonating Comcast or some other service provider, and they say, call this number back. Right? There's a problem with your account. Call this number. Or special offer. Call this number. Call number displayed. Right? So yeah, big red flag when I say call number displayed, call number shown. Don't fall for it. Red flag number 6. An unsolicited email or text message instructs you to open a file attachment. And look, this is cybersecurity 101. Right? You never want to open a file attachment that you weren't expecting or from someone you don't know. Right? Whether it's an email file attachment, a text message file attachment. Right? Because these scammers, what they do is they attach files to bypass the email filters and text message filters. Instead, they attach a file. Right? And in the file, it could install something malicious on your device. If you open it, it can install a virus on your device, or it could take you to a fake website. Best case, it takes you to a fake website that steals your payment details, which still is pretty crappy, right? So, and we see this a lot with like fake invoice scams. You'll get an email that has an attachment. It says you have a unpaid invoice due, right? But then you open the attachment, it's going to take you to a fake website or effective a virus. We see this with undeliverable package scams. You get a message or a text about a package couldn't be delivered, and open this attachment. Right? It takes you to a fake website. Unpaid road toll scams, or the traffic ticket scams we showed you earlier. Those very realistic looking documents with the state seals, right? And those are file attachments. So very common for these scammers to attach files to get past the filters. So it's a big red flag. You never want to open attachments, email attachments, text message attachments that you weren't expecting or from someone you don't know. That's red flag number 6. How are we all doing out there? Say hi in the chat if you're lurking behind the scenes. Hit that like button. Give me some reactions. It really does help. Red flag number 7. The text message includes an instruction at the end to reply with yes and reopen the message. I was pointing this out earlier when we had some of the examples up. Right? It's extremely common for these scam text messages to ask you to reply yes and reopen the message. And there's a couple of reasons they do that. The first one is if you reply yes, now they know your number's active and they're going to target you with even more scams. Right? So I always tell people you never want to reply to these scammers, even if you're going to mess with them. You know, if you're going to do that, just be aware they're going to text you even more. They're going to add you to even more scam lists. It's best to just ignore, block, delete the message, right? You don't want this scammer to have any clue that you're reading their message or engaging with them, right? So you never want to reply yes, right? The other reason is that sometimes when you reply yes, it'll enable the link on your device. So now it's that much easier for you to click the malicious link, right? So nothing good comes from replying yes. And we see this a lot on scam text messages, pretty much all of them, right? Whether it's outstanding traffic ticket scam or undeliverable package scam, IRS, Department of Revenue scam, you know, send these text messages, and they'll have that note at the bottom that says reply yes and reopen the message. And so it's a big red flag. Don't fall for it. It's red flag number 7. The text message includes an instruction at the end to reply with yes and reopen the message. Got 2 more red flags to go here. Red flag number 8. The caller asks to confirm personal information like date of birth, social security number, Medicare number. You know, these scammers, they impersonate medical, financial, and government services to steal your personal information. Sometimes they'll claim they have an important message for you or an update for you, and they want to confirm your identity first. So they'll say, what's your birth date, right? But it's all, you never want to give these unsolicited callers personal information like that. There's a big red flag if somebody calls up and just immediately starts asking you your personal information. Right? Sometimes they say they're issuing a new Medicare card or a new Social Security card, and they need to confirm your current information. Right? It's all sketchy. You don't want to give away that type of information to an unsolicited caller. And we see this a lot with Medicare, healthcare scams. They impersonate healthcare services, ask you to confirm your Medicare number, your date of birth, your start date, right? Because then they have enough information to file false claims as you, right? And then it's Medicare, healthcare fraud. Right? Government impersonation, right? They want to get your social security number, personal information. You know, they'll try to get your tax return, or they'll use it for identity theft and apply for credit cards under your name using your personal information, right? So you never want to give out this personal information to these unsolicited callers. Even if the caller ID says it's your doctor's office or says it's Social Security, you can't trust it. You can't trust caller ID. We'll talk about that more in a little bit. But anyway, that's red flag number 8. The caller asks to confirm personal information like date of birth, Social Security number, Medicare number. Don't do it. Never give that information out. You always want to hang up and then call back directly, right? You can't trust these unsolicited calls to ask for personal information. Red flag number 9. There you go. They directed a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue the conversation. We were mentioning WhatsApp a little earlier and how it's a big red flag when the only contact info they have is a WhatsApp phone number. And that's because scammers love to use third-party chat apps like WhatsApp to communicate with their victims in other countries. Right? Instead of text messaging back and forth on phone numbers that might get turned off, they add them over on WhatsApp. Right? It makes it much easier to scam people from all around the world. Also, it offers more anonymity for the scammer to hide behind these third-party chat apps. We see this a lot with romance scams. You know, once they connect with the victim through a dating profile or a wrong number, text message, whatever the case, usually the next step is they say, hey, let's keep talking on WhatsApp. And that's the red flag, right? Wrong number scams. We're going to talk about those in a little bit. But they first they engage with the victim through a wrong number text message. And they say, hey, you seem nice. Let's keep talking on WhatsApp, right? The pig butchering and investment scams. A lot of times they'll invite victims to a Telegram or WhatsApp group that looks like it's dedicated to an investment. It makes it appear like there's people interested in the investment. A lot of times there's a bunch of scammers and bots in the group that are just there to convince the victim that's legit when it's not. All right, so it's always a red flag when a stranger you're talking to, they're pressuring you to continue talking to them on a third-party chat app, Telegram, WhatsApp. All right, red flag. Don't fall for it. And the last red flag we have here, they ask you to provide a code that was sent to your phone via text message. All right. And this is actually a common scam. We see this a lot on marketplace style type websites, right? Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, websites like that. And how it works is the scammer, they impersonate a buyer or a seller. And what they'll do is they'll say something like, I just want to confirm that your phone number is real. I'm going to send a text message to your number. But what they're actually doing is they're actually trying to create an account that's linked to your phone number, or they're trying to reset a password to an account that's linked to your phone number, or they're trying to create a Google Voice account or log into an existing account. They're trying to do something malicious. And that security code is there as a security measure. If you turn around and give that code to the scammer, you're allowing them to do whatever malicious thing they're trying to do. And how these Google Voice scams work is the scammers, they'll create a Google Voice account, and they don't want to link to their own phone. They want to link to somebody else's phone. And in this case, it's the victim's phone, right? So they'll try to use the victim's phone number, linking it to that account. If the victim gives them the security code, it allows them to create this Google Voice account linked to the victim's phone number. Now the scammer can run around scamming other people using this fraudulent Google Voice account that's linked to your phone number, right? Sometimes the scammer will be impersonating your bank. You'll be on the phone. You think you're talking to your bank. You're actually talking to a scammer. And the scammer will say, I just want to confirm you are who you say. I'm going to send a code to your phone. What they're actually trying to do, they're actually trying to log into your bank account. You turn around and give them that code, you just let them into your bank account. All right. So you never want to give an individual a code that they claim to be sending to your phone. Right. It's a big red flag if someone says, I'm going to send a code to your phone. Right? Chances are trying to do something malicious, whether it's creating an account, logging into an account, resetting a password. So be aware of that, especially on marketplace websites. So that's red flag number 10. They ask you to provide a code that was sent to your phone via text message. Don't fall for it. Be aware. But that's 10 red flags that you're dealing with a scammer. Again, we did a couple videos about those, 5 and 5. Right, so go check out those videos on our YouTube channel and share them with a loved one if you think they would find this info useful. Important to be aware of these red flags. And we're about an hour in. We've got about another hour or so left. We're going to go into about 8 o'clock. Plenty more to come. But we're going to take a quick 5-minute break. Refill the Scamaware 101 coffee mug. Stay caffeinated for you. Peak performance for my viewers out there. So we're going to take a quick break, 5 minutes, and we're going to be back. And we'll finish up the live stream uninterrupted for the next hour or so. Plenty of scams coming up. We're going to go check out the AARP scam tracker map too. Check out some real scam reports, see what's being reported currently in the last couple days, and see if we can spot some new trends. So stay tuned. Lots to come up. I'm going to play some tunes for you real quick while I go fill up the coffee mug. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Make sure to hit that like button if you haven't yet. Say hi in the chat. And still time to share a live stream. Get some more people here. Like I said, plenty more coming up.
Got a text on your phone saying password expired. Link look weird, but your thumb feel wired. They fishing for the keys to your whole damn life. One tap, now they swimming in your bank late night. Dear customer, copy paste same line. Spelled your name wrong, can't even fake the design. Buzz in your pocket, yo, click for the check, click for the virus, click, lose respect. Scamaware 101, just break it down. If it sound too sweet, better turn it around. Cash, fast love, miracle and cash. Hit the lead, not the link. We ain't falling for that. Scamaware 101, say it with your chest. Call them out, got the number, treat it like a test. If your gut say run, then you follow that drum. Scamaware, class
You must go to the store and buy gift cards.
Stop! It's a scam!
My uncle works at a hedge fund and gives me insider trading tips. Download this trading app.
Stop! It's a scam!
My bank suddenly needs my password, my PAN, and my first pet's social security number.
Stop! It's a scam!
This is urgent. You can't hang up.
Get lost, scammer.
They slide in your DMs, hey friend, long time. Photo look perfect, but the grammar ain't right. Click this link, your package on hold, but you never ordered. That story feel old. They rush you, they push you, act fast, don't wait. Soon as there's pressure, you step on the brakes. Jared, break it down, plain talk, no gloss. If they hate your questions, that's your sign to walk off. Red flags, listen when he talks. Jared got the map when the road feels dark. If it sounds too sweet, then you step back smart. We don't get scammed, yeah, we guard our hearts. Hey, flags, red flags, learn them by heart. Scam awareness class, that's the hardest part. But he slow it right down, so we all take charge. We don't get scammed, we don't get scarred.
You must go to the store and buy gift cards.
Stop! It's a scam!
My uncle works at a hedge fund and gives me insider trading tips. Download this trading app.
Stop! It's a scam!
My bank suddenly needs my password, my PAN, and my first pet's social security number.
Stop! It's a scam!
This is urgent. You can't hang up.
Get lost, scammer. Yo, it's Jared in the booth, spitting scammer with truth. They fishing in your inbox, man, they stealing your youth. Phishing emails, got that urgent in the line. Click that link and your bank account's not fine. Fake tech support, they call you at noon. Your PC's infected, yeah, they're singing that tune. Pick butchering scams, betting wallets to slice. Invest in the fake love, but you're paying the price. Scammer 101, keep your eyes wide open. If the deal seems sweet, man, they're probably hoping. Snatch your cash that you broken to spend. Stay woke, my equal, man, these crooks don't care.
You must go to the store and buy gift cards.
Stop! It's a scam!
My uncle works at a hedge fund and gives me insider trading tips. Download this trading app.
Stop! It's a scam!
My bank suddenly needs my password, my PAN, and my first pet's social security number.
Stop! It's a scam!
This is urgent. You can't hang up.
Get lost, scammer.
It's your bank, message on your phone. Jared says pause, don't tap that alone. Spelling kinda shaky, logo looks strange. Why they in a hurry, what's the real game? Dave Cruz jumps in, check that URL. Little extra letter, rings like a bell. If they want your code, that's your front door key. Real ones never ask, just trust me. Scam awareness 101, we don't click quick, we don't just run. Stop, breathe, read it line by line. If it smells off, then hit decline. Scam awareness 101, learn the tricks, then tell someone. We keep each other safe, that's how it's done. Scam awareness. Scam awareness. 101. John gets a call, your grandkid's stuck. Voice sounds shaky, begging for $1. Jared hits speaker, ask one more thing. What's their middle name? What's their first dog spring? Nigella's on email, congrats, you won. Prize look.
All right, we're back. We continue the live stream uninterrupted. We got probably going to about 8 o'clock-ish. So still got some more scams coming up. If you just joined the live stream, welcome. If you're here for the first time, my name is Jared with Scamware 101. The mission here is to spread awareness of common scams that target individuals, you, me, your friends, your family, your loved ones. So hit that like button, spread the word, like, follow, subscribe. It really does help. And help us spread awareness about these scams. And the scams we talk about, these scammers, they want to take everything you have. They want to clear out your bank account. They want to clear out your retirement fund. And it's not good. We're not talking about, these small-time scams who are just trying to get $100 or even $1,000 from you. They want to clear out your bank account. Right? It's important to be aware because, a lot of people, they're under impression that their money's insured, their money's safe, the bank will just give you it back. And that's not the case with scams. People are losing their retirement funds and life savings to these scammers. So, important to be aware. And we got quite a few more scams to share with you, make you aware. And then we're going to check out the AARP scam tracking map too and check out some live scam reports and see what people are reporting. But let's dive into some more common scams that you should be aware of. They're actively circulating, right? And let's talk about arrest warrant scams. This is when a victim's contacted by a scammer impersonating law enforcement. The scammer claims an arrest warrant was issued and fines must be paid to resolve it. The scammer then threatens with arrest if fines aren't paid immediately, right? And how this scam works, right? You'll get a phone call and they'll say they're calling from the sheriff's department, local police department, and your caller ID might even say your local police department or sheriff's office because scammers can manipulate the caller ID. That's very important to be aware of. If you weren't aware of that, and if you leave with anything new from this live stream, let it be that, is that you can't trust caller ID. Scammers can manipulate it. They can make it say whatever they want. They can make it show your bank. They can make it show the sheriff's office, right? And these arrest warrant scams is a prime example of one of the scams they do that with, right? They give you a call and they say that you missed jury duty or you failed to show in court. Or they'll say you got to pay fees immediately or they're going to come and arrest you right now, right? Very threatening, very scary, right? They're trying to create that sense of fear and urgency that we mentioned earlier. And in this type of scam, they'll even offer to give you fake paperwork, right? They have these forged court documents that they're going to send you and through a text message or through an email to try to convince you, right? So you get a call like this, don't fall for it. Hang up. If you're concerned that's real, call the agency directly. Call the sheriff's department directly. But don't engage with a scammer an unsolicited call that claims they're going to come get you, especially if they're saying that you missed jury duty or failed to show the court. Very common narratives that these arrest warrant scammers use. And we have 2 reports from earlier this year that I think are worth mentioning here. And in the first report, they say, a man reportedly from a sheriff's department in a city I used to live said that there was a warrant for my arrest. It was due to not reporting for jury duty, right? So there's that narrative, where they say you didn't report to jury duty. And then they said, I was not to discuss this with anyone because children were involved, right? There's that request for secrecy, right? We mentioned that earlier, that in the red flags, the request for secrecy, they think of these clever ways to tell you got to stay quiet. And this is the clever way, right? They say it involves children, so you can't tell anybody, right? And then the victim was told to go to Walmart and put money on a one account, right? That unusual form of payment that I mentioned earlier. And they would provide you with a code when it got there. All right. So little details about the scam that are worth knowing, right? So you find yourself in a situation where somebody's telling you to load cash on a one account or claiming you missed jury duty, be suspicious. No, that's a common scam. The next report here said that they received a phone call saying they were from the county sheriff and that I had 2 charges against me that I had to pay a fee. I was made to stay on the line and was directed to deposit money through a cryptocurrency machine, right? So another couple interesting details there. They made him stay on the line, right? And they do that because they don't want you calling anybody else. So they'll literally keep you on the phone while you're driving to withdraw money and driving to the cryptocurrency machine. And in this case, that's what they were told to do, to go to a cryptocurrency machine, right? There's that red flag, the unusual forms of payment, telling you to send cryptocurrency, right? Very common. And these reports were from earlier in the year. So it's very active right now. We made this cool infographic for this arrest warrant scam. Never trust a caller ID. Again, it will display. It will say the sheriff's office, even if it's a scammer, they can manipulate it. When people see that, they think that they don't realize that scammers can manipulate the caller ID. And unfortunately, a lot of victims, that's why they fell for it. Right? They demand immediate payment. And don't be pressured into paying immediately. The deceptive tactics, the fake caller ID, the fake paperwork, right? The golden rule. You got to hang up and verify. Right? Somebody calls you up, says you got to issue an arrest warrant. Just confirm what agency they're claiming to be from. Hang up and reach out to that agency directly if you're concerned that's real. Right? But you can't trust an unsolicited call anymore. The caller ID can be manipulated. Right? The fake paperwork can be manipulated. These scammers know things about you. Right? They might already know where you live. So they know what police department to impersonate, right? So don't fall for it. These arrest warrant scams. Lots of warnings about this coming out of sheriff's departments. You know, the police don't like being impersonated. So lots of warnings about this scam circulating. Somebody calls you up and says you missed jury duty, don't fall for it. You would have got plenty of notices if that was actually the case. Like notices in the mail. They wouldn't just be calling you or texting you. So watch out for that scam, these arrest warrant scams. We did a video about this too, so you can check out that video on our YouTube channel. Bank impersonation scams. We mentioned these earlier a little bit. This is a very dangerous scam, very common scam, actively circulating. And really the goal is to clear out your bank account, right? So these scammers, they impersonate the bank. And they usually claim there's some kind of suspicious activity under your account. And they try to trick the victim into withdrawing or transferring funds to the scammer. You know, a lot of times they'll say your money's not safe. You have to transfer it to secure it, right? But you're actually transferring it to a scammer, not even realizing it. And this is one of those scams where, again, the caller ID might show your bank's name and number. In fact, in most cases it does, right? Even though it's not the bank. Because the scammer, a lot of times, will know what bank to show. So you get a call, your caller ID will show your bank's name. You'll think it's your bank, right? But it's a scam. And we have an example here to share with you. Text message right here. Verified TD Bank card activity. Did you attempt a transaction for $250 at Walgreens? Reply yes if recognized or no if not. Right? This is an example of a fake text message trying to impersonate your bank. And the person that sent over this example to me, there's actually a little bit of a backstory that goes along with it. Before they received this text message, they actually received a phone call. Right? They got a phone call and it said it was from TD Bank. They didn't answer the phone. And then after not answering the phone, they got this text message right after. Right? So, and the scammers knew to impersonate TD Bank. They knew that the person had TD Bank. They tried calling. When he didn't answer, then they texted. All right, so don't be fooled by the persistence of these scammers. They'll go above and beyond. They'll try phone, then they'll send you a text. Now, the idea is if you reply no, because you didn't make that transaction, right? You reply no, then the scammer's going to try to get you on the phone. They're going to impersonate your bank. And eventually they're going to go into this whole narrative about you need to transfer your money to secure it. And that's how they steal your money. We have a victim story here I want to share with you. She says, I feel so stupid. This young Connecticut woman had her bank account drained by scammers after answering trusted Wells Fargo number. I said her trouble began when she saw a familiar phone number on her caller ID. I got a call from a Wells Fargo number saying I had fraudulent activity on my account and that a random person was being sent money from Zelle. By the way, Zelle's a big red flag too. Scammers love getting paid in Zelle. They told me to secure my account by sending money that would go back to my account right after. All right, but then that's all part of the scam, right? They're trying to trick the victim into transferring money with Zelle. And by the way, dealing with Zelle is a nightmare, and the scammers know that. So that's why they like to trick their victims into transferring money with Zelle. So just another example of a bank impersonation scam. And in her case, the same thing happened with her. That happened to so many people. They see on the caller ID, it says their bank's name. So they think they could trust it. They don't realize the scammers can manipulate caller ID. So it's very important to spread the word. Make sure people are aware of that. Just because a caller ID says it's your bank, that doesn't mean it is. When it comes to these bank impersonation scams, luckily, even though they're so damn dangerous, they're actually one of the easiest ones to debunk. It's very simple, right? You get any kind of text message claiming to be from your bank, any type of phone call claiming to be from your bank, any type of email claiming to be from your bank. Don't trust the links. Don't engage with the person who's calling. Don't call back the number that they tell you to call. Don't text back. Instead, call the number on the back of your bank card. That's it. Any type of notification claiming to be from your bank, very easy to verify. Call the number on the back of your bank card, because then you know you're talking to your bank. All right, 99.9% of the time, they're going to tell you it's a scam. All right, so be aware of these bank impersonation scams. They're a big problem. Here's a little infographic we made. Anatomy of a bank impersonation scam. You get the fake text alert, the panicked phone call. Sometimes they'll coach you, right? If they're telling you to go to the bank to withdraw your money, they'll actually coach you and they'll say, don't tell the cashier what's really happening. Instead, say that you need to take out money for home contractors, right? They tell you to lie to the cashier. So it's a big red flag if you find yourself in a situation like that. Hang up and look, again, anything to do with your bank, call the number on the back of your card. Hey, Matthew, welcome to the live stream. Good to see you. Next scam we're going to talk about here, wrong number scams. This is actually, we did a video about this scam, and it actually went viral. I mean, viral for us. 102,000 views, which is amazing. You know, usually the videos we release on YouTube, you know, we're lucky to get a couple thousand views, but this one got 102,000 views, so that was pretty cool. But it also gives you an idea how common this scam is. I'm just trying to bring up the YouTube page here for you. So here it is, wrong number scam, text message scam. Oh, 103. Cool. We finally have 103,000 views now. Nice. Woohoo. Celebrate. Party. But anyway, yeah, these wrong number scams, look, they're very dangerous. It's another example of these long-term deception scams, right? And how it works is the scammers will reach new victims by sending text messages to random phone numbers, right? They're sending out the same text message, hundreds and thousands of phone numbers. And then when someone replies saying wrong number, you know, or who is this? The scammer attempts to continue the conversation and build a trust with the victim, right? Eventually they're going to ask the victim to continue talking on WhatsApp. Oh, you seem nice. Let's be friends, right? And then it evolves into a romance or a pig butchering scam, which are two very dangerous scams that we talked about earlier in the live stream, right? And you know, you never want to underestimate these scammers. It's something as simple as a wrong number text message. It could end up with you losing your entire life savings, right? And one of the reasons this type of scam is so dangerous is it can start with like any random text message that says any random thing, like literally. So here's a bunch of examples. Hey, Anna, I'm Josie. Excuse me, is this Emma? Have a cup of coffee together sometime, right? All these random messages, it could be kicking off one of these wrong number scams. Even just a random message says hi, okay? Because the idea is the scammer wants you to reply. They want you to say, who is this? They want you to reply and say wrong number, right? Because first of all, as we mentioned earlier, now they know your number's active. If you reply, they know you read their scam text and they're going to target you even more, right? And then if you reply, they're going to try to continue the conversation. Because, oh, sorry, I got a wrong number, but you seem nice. Let's be friends. Here's an example of how that conversation might go. Real example. All right, this one starts with, get a message. It just says, hi. Okay. Reply back. You say, hi, who's this? Well, now they already failed. Right now the scammer knows that it's an active number and they're going to target you with more scams in the future. But anyway, you know, you reply back, hi, who's this? And the scammer says, I'm Katrina. Are you David? We met last week at Linda's party. You picked this number for me. Right? The victim replies back, hi, sorry, you have the wrong number. Okay. At this point, conversation should end. It's been established. It's a wrong number. Right? But because it's a scam, they're going to keep going. They reply back to say, oh my gosh, I checked, found out I entered the wrong area code. I hope this doesn't bother you. Reply back, say, that's okay, no problem. Okay, again, conversation should end. It's been established. It's a wrong number, but it keeps going. Thank you very much. You're a very friendly and polite person. I hope we could be friends. Nice to meet you. My name is Karina. What can I call you? Right now, they're going to start gathering information. They're going to try to get your name. They're trying to find out where you live, your age, things like that. We replied back, Pat. They replied, you have a beautiful name. I'm from Malaysia, currently living in Los Angeles. Where do you live? Right? And then we ended the conversation at that point. But see what happens? How a random wrong number text, they turn it into a conversation, and eventually they're going to try to get you onto WhatsApp and start messaging you every day. You think you have a new friend, right? But then what's going to happen is a week or two into the friendship, right? They're going to hit you with that romance scam or that pig butchering scam, right? You say, my uncle and my aunt invest. Do you want to join our investment group? Very dangerous scam. You never want to reply to these. In fact, I mean, look, it takes advantage of our kindness, right? Like, we want to be nice people. If somebody sends us a message and it's the wrong number, we want to be kind and reply and say you got the wrong number. But we can't. Scammers want us to reply. And 99% of the time, it's going to be a scam, right? You ever wonder why you get so many wrong number text messages? That's why, because it's a scam. So really, my advice is just never to even reply. Even if it's a possible real wrong number, It's not worth replying because chances are it's going to be a scam. They're going to target you even more. And I do have another example here that I want to share with you of this one. So here's another example of a wrong number text message scam. It starts out with, "Hi, Byron, I'm Jane," right? And then they attach a picture, right? Notice that? We know what they're trying to do. Somebody out there thinks it's their lucky day, right? But it's a scam. And the reason I share this example with you is because this message came in at 1:58 p.m. on the dot, right? You get the message, the picture, 1:58 p.m. 4 hours later, after not replying, 4 hours later, 5:58 p.m., exactly 4 hours, there's a follow-up text. "Have you gotten the pictures I sent?" All right. So the reason I point this out is this is a bot. This isn't a real person sitting there sending out this message. This is a bot sending the same message, the same picture to hundreds and thousands of random phone numbers, right? Because to them, it's a numbers game. Somebody's got to end up replying. Okay. And the picture is an example of how these scammers are using AI, right? This probably isn't even a real person. It's probably an AI generated picture. So get a message like this. Hate to break it to you. It's not your lucky day. Don't reply. This one's probably going to end up leading to either an attempted romance scam, or they're going to hit you with the crypto thing, pig butchering scam. In the video we did about this one that got 103,000 views, there were lots of comments left by people, and a lot of people confirmed in the comments they received the exact same text message, exact same picture. All right, so it's a very common scam. So watch out for these wrong number scams. Again, something as innocent as a wrong number, seemingly wrong number, could end up losing your entire life savings. It's an investment scam. So don't fall for it. Be aware of it. These wrong number scams are a big problem. This next scam we're going to talk about, we've got two more scams, and we're going to check out the AARP scam tracking map. But this next scam we're going to talk about, I was actually surprised to find out how common this one was. But it's faith-based leader impersonation scams. And what I mean by that is scammers pose as trusted religious leaders, such as priests, rabbis, or pastors, to deceive members of their community. Right? They reach out with an urgent request for money or gift cards. And sometimes they'll create a fake email address that looks like it's a pastor or priest. Right? Other times, maybe they'll hack into that pastor and priest's actual email address. So it's important to be aware of this type of scam, because there's actually entire congregations being targeted by these scammers impersonating their rabbi, impersonating their priest, impersonating their pastor. I was actually surprised to see how many reports there were about this type of scam. And here's a couple reports that I'm going to go over right now with you. Contacted by our pastor. He needed help getting some Apple gift cards for cancer patients in the hospital, but he was busy with other things, right? So that's how they get you. You get a text message or an email. It looks like it's from your pastor, your priest or rabbi or whatever. And they say, "Hey, I'm going to the hospital. Could you pick up some gift cards for me? I'll reimburse you. Send me pictures of the gift cards. I want to give them out to the sick patients," right? It sounds like they're doing some kind of charity. They're asking you to just help out and they'll reimburse you. Right. And you figure, hey, if I can't trust my pastor, my priest or rabbi, who can I trust? Right. Well, it's a scam. It's actually a scammer trying to trick you. There's another report. The person impersonates a pastor from our church in South San Francisco, asked to send money for Brazil because he has a personal emergency. All right. So there's somebody impersonating the pastor claiming they're stuck in Brazil. Ask you to send gift cards, send money. There's another report. I received an email that appears to be from my priest. He asked me to buy 10 Amazon gift cards. Immediately, he needed to send them out. Right? So think about that. 10 gift cards, probably $500 each. That's a $5,000 scam right there. So this is one of those, as far as heinous scams go, this one's right up there with the grandparent scams. right? They're impersonating your faith leaders. They're using cancer patients and the sick people as bait to trick you, right? It's real low, it's a really low scam. And here's one more report. Look, and they don't discriminate, right? They're impersonating pastors, they're impersonating priests, and in this report, they impersonate a rabbi. Someone saying they were my rabbi, asking me to get 5 Target cards, $500 each for sick people, right? So it's the same narrative there. That's a $2,500 scam, right? They're impersonating a rabbi. They're saying that, asking you to grab some gift cards to give them out to sick people. So using a fake charity, right, to trick you. So don't fall for it. And make sure that the members of your community are aware of this, right? If you have a church or a synagogue that you're a member of, mention it to other members or mention it to the leaders there that they should make an announcement and warn their congregation about this type of scam. Now, if you were targeted with this type of scam, you definitely want to keep this in mind, right? You can inspect the sender's email address first of all, and maybe you could spot right away that's not really your pastor's or priest or rabbi's email address, right? But even if it is, doesn't mean you could trust it, because the scammer could have got access to their email address. Now they're sending out these emails. And this happens all the time on social media. I've had plenty of friends get their social media pages hacked, like on Facebook. And the next thing you know, I'm getting a message from someone that I haven't talked to in 20 years asking me to send them $500. Right? I'm like, this isn't real. This is because their profile got hacked. So even though the message came from the real profile, the real email address, that doesn't mean you could trust it. Right? You always want to verify through a second communication channel. In this case, you would call the person directly. Say, hey, did you actually text me this message or email me asking for gift cards? Right? And actually talk to the person. Call the main office. Hey, I got this strange text or email from the church. And don't always remember, gift cards, they're a red flag. We can't stress this enough. If somebody's asking for gift cards, even if it's somebody that supposedly comes from an email address or a profile of someone they're asking for gift cards, it's a red flag. It's a big red flag, because that scammers like to get gift cards. So even though I'm sharing this example, I'm using the faith leaders as an example, where the scammers, they impersonate priests, pastors, rabbis, right? But really, this applies to anybody, friends, family. These scammers, they impersonate them. They get into their accounts, they get into their email addresses, and they target their contacts with this type of scam. So be aware of this one. Oh, and by the way, this is probably a good time to mention that one of the few ways that we do make money over here at Scamware 101 is by doing group presentations for faith-based groups, synagogues, churches, local groups, HOAs, community centers. So if you're interested in a group presentation at your local community center or synagogue or church, reach out to us. Our contact info is on our website, scamware101.com. And we could do a group presentation with a Q&A for your group. We'll send them some printouts too, and some scam examples they can take home with them. Virtual presentation. About an hour and a half, 2 hours, and do a Q&A, make sure everybody gets their questions answered. So, if it sounds like something you're interested in or something your group could benefit from, your church, your synagogue, community groups, HOA, reach out. Next scam we're going to talk about: crypto exchange impersonation scams. These are very similar to bank impersonation scams, except they're impersonating crypto exchanges like Coinbase and Gemini. Right? And usually it follows the same kind of narrative that the bank impersonation scams do. The scammer calls you up, they impersonate Coinbase, they impersonate Gemini. Your caller ID shows Coinbase or shows Gemini. They tell you there's suspicious activity under your account, and they're trying to get into your account. Or trying to trick you into transferring all your crypto to them. So it's pretty much the same type of scam as a bank impersonation scam. But I actually have two phone call examples here I'm going to play for you. The first one is a Coinbase impersonation scam where I talked to this scammer for a little bit just to see where the call would go. I want to play that for you. And the second one's just a quick voicemail that impersonates Gemini. All right, so here's two scam examples for you. Let's listen to the first one here. It impersonates Coinbase.
This is about your crypto accounts or Coinbase, your digital asset platform account.
Oh, yeah, sure. What's going on?
Well, sir, with our file, there is a registered Coinbase account under your information, and we have your request that there's a request of changing your primary email address from this account. So we are calling you for the verification whether are you the one who authorizing this request to change your email or not.
No, that wasn't me.
Okay. So when was the last time you were active to your Coinbase account? Do you remember that?
I mean, I'm not sure. Can't you tell from over there?
Well, sir, right now, as I can see, there are some of the recent login we have detected by our server. And as I can see, the requests which are coming from, it is from the different IP location in foreign country, in Mexico.
Oh,
and the next login we have found, it is in the New Jersey. So among these two locations, can you please verify me which one could be a recent or it could be a last location from where you have monitored your account? Is that from New Jersey or it is from the Mexico, the country?
I mean, I travel, so it might have been both.
Yeah, I didn't like when I answered that way. That disconnected and hung up. I actually think that was AI because there was that delay after every answer. There was that delay afterwards, and I think the AI was processing it. So I'm pretty sure that was actually AI. So it's a pretty good example about how AI is trained to do these conversations with you. I probably stumped it when I answered that way, so it was programmed to disconnect. But what's interesting is they mentioned New Jersey, and I'm originally from New Jersey, and at first I was like, how'd they have that information? And I think Dave mentioned in the chat, if your area code was New Jersey area code, that's something they're going to use to try and trick you, right? So keep that in mind too. The person on the other line, they might be saying the state you're in, but they might be getting that from your area code on your phone, right? So that was an example of a Coinbase impersonation scam. This next example is a Gemini impersonation scam. Again, these are two common crypto exchange platforms. This was just a voicemail.
This is an automated call from Gemini. A new device is logged in from Singapore. If this was not made by you, press 1 to be connected to one of our representatives.
Right, so very similar to a bank impersonation scam. You get a voicemail or a call, there's suspicious activity. They claim there's suspicious activity and they try to get you to engage and call back so they could try to scam you out of your funds. So don't fall for it. These are two recent examples. Important to be aware of. And that's all the scam examples that we had lined up to talk about, but we're not done yet. I'm going to move on to my favorite part of the live stream here, which is the AARP scam tracker map. And the thing about the AARP scam tracker map, what's really cool about it is you can actually see the reports coming in, recent reports from all over the country, scam reports. And you got to get an idea from these reports about which scams are starting to trend more. You can get some details from the reports, some new narratives sometimes, see what the scammers are saying. So it's a cool resource to use to see what kind of scams are circulating and what's being reported. And we have a link on our website to it. If you go to our website, scamaware101.com, and while you're there, make sure to join the free mailing list. Click join mailing list. But under the tools and software page, a bunch of useful links on this page as well. You want to check them out. But if you scroll all the way to the bottom, we have a link to the AARP scam tracking map. Click that. And now here we are on the scam tracking map. And it gives you an option. You can filter down by state or zip code. But I'm going to leave it on nationwide. Just get an idea what's being reported. And you can see the most recent scams listed here from the 2nd. So these reports are 2 days old. So all recent reports of of actively circulating scams. For the next 15 minutes or so, we'll check out some reports and see if they line up with the scams we're talking about, or if there's any other scams that are worth talking about here. And the first one, investment fraud scam. Text wanting information about my Robinhood account that is non-active. Phishing for critical information. There we go. Right, so that's an example of, it could either be identity fraud, right? They're trying to gather your personal information, or it could be a crypto scam, because he mentions Robinhood. Let's see what other details it says in this report. By the way, Robinhood is another stock trading and crypto exchange too. Yeah, I didn't give any more details about that, but it's worth keeping in mind. The scammers, never underestimate who they're impersonating, right? They'll impersonate all the banks, they impersonate all the crypto exchanges, Robinhood, your trading account. They're trying to get your social security number, your name, address, etc. So that report came in 2 days ago. This is when we're starting to hear about more and more. So this person said, they don't get too many details, but they said the scammer threatened to make profiles on apps and scam people using my pictures and told me to pay them $500. Right. They didn't give them a lot of details there, but we're seeing more and more scams like this, where the scammers are stealing your pictures, or they're using AI to generate pictures of you, right? Maybe compromising pictures, embarrassing pictures, right? And then they threaten to send these pictures to your friends, your family, or use them to scam people. And it's another way that these scammers using AI, right? And they blackmail. They say $500 and don't pay them. Government imposter scam. After H&R Block filed their tax returns for 2025, I received a text message from the IRS wanting to verify who I was. Let's see here. They're reporting this one a little late, but they asked me to download my driver's license, which I did, and hit submit. It was never confirmed. I was now cleared and my tax refund was being processed. I started to be concerned that the text may have been a scam, so I called H&R Block, but they were no help and said I had to contact the IRS directly. Tried several times, never could get through, even make an appointment at the local field office. I literally waited online for over an hour. See, so this is one of those examples about why it's so important to be aware of these scams, so you can spot them and avoid them in the first place. Because once you actually fall for one, or you think you might have fallen for one, it's very hard to get the help you need and to get action. In this case, the other person saying that after they filed their tax return, they were tricked by a scammer and they stole their personal information. We see that a lot during tax season, with tax forgiveness calls, fake phone calls, tax forgiveness offers. Always be suspicious of any communications having to do with taxes, Social Security. There's lots of emails that impersonate Social Security. Sometimes they claim to be a statement to download, but it's actually a virus. Sometimes there's an attachment impersonating Social Security. Gift card scams. Received an email from a name of, oh, perfect. This is what we just talked about when we were talking about basically the faith leader impersonation. I mentioned it could be your friends too. So here's someone reporting that type of scam. I received an email from a name of a friend. They wanted to talk by email. I said, sure. And they ended up asking me to send $300 Amazon gift card to the email address of a niece as a birthday request. I suggested they needed to use their time in a more honest way. Right. But there we go. Right. This is happening. People are either creating fake emails or hacking into your friend's email address. And then suddenly you're getting a request from them say, hey, can you help me out? Send me $300 gift card. But it's not your friend. It's a scammer. Let's see what the next batch here says. Here's another example of them using the pictures. The scammer threatened to post explicit images of mine and pretend that he was a minor, in which he lied. If I didn't give him $3,000, he would post the images. Now I'm scared for my life and I have proof he threatened. Look, so yeah, these blackmail scams whether they trick you into sending them pictures or they're generating fake ones using AI of you. I've been seeing lots of an increase in reports of this type of scam. It's terrible. I mean, there's two things to take away from that. Don't send explicit pictures of yourself to a stranger online. But if somebody creates pictures of you using AI, don't give in. Don't give in to their blackmail. I mean, that would be my suggestion. Business imposter scam. An automated message regarding a free MacBook Pro from Amazon was offered. Calling them back revealed... Oh, cool. Let's see what this says. Calling them back revealed a spoof number with an Ohio area code. An automated message regarding a free MacBook. I haven't heard this version where it says a free MacBook, but we played you an example earlier where it claimed the MacBook was purchased on your Amazon account. So maybe that's actually this one too. But look, it goes back to that golden rule, right? You can't trust the phone numbers that these random messages tell you to call. It's a very common scam for them to try to trick you. You think you're calling customer service, you think you're calling a vendor, but you're actually calling a scammer. So you never want to trust these numbers that get left by random callers. I just realized I haven't checked the Instagram or Facebook streams yet. Let's see. Are they still up and running? Yeah, cool. We're still live on Facebook and Instagram, too. Very cool. See, Peggy stopped in on Instagram. I think I missed you, but you're still there. What's up? Thanks for stopping by. She got a couple more of these scam reports here. Sweepstakes winner, Senior Cash Award. All right. We opened up this live stream talking about the fake lottery and sweepstakes scams. In this case, one is being reported. In this case, it's called the Senior Cash Award. So that's an interesting one. Didn't give any more details about it, but there's a red flag to watch out for. Somebody calls you up saying that you're a sweepstakes winner, Senior Cash Award. Be suspicious. Especially, look, going back to these sweepstakes scams, if you didn't even enter a sweepstakes, I mean, it's a big red flag if suddenly you're getting calls about winning one, right? Tech support scams. Here we are. We have a video about tech support scams. If you want to check that one out. Oh, good. This person gave a lot of details. My laptop started beeping really loud. I looked at it and said a huge message that I'd been hacked and called Microsoft Tech to help me immediately. I was alone and I panicked. All right, there we go. That's how this scam works. They try to create this sense of fear and this urgency to get you to react. And that's what happened to this person. They had a big, scary, you're affected with a virus, right? That pops up on their screen. And the other thing about these, I've seen versions of these tech support scams with these pop-ups. They cover your whole screen. They'll make it so it's very hard to close out of the window. And your speakers, it'll start blasting. You've been infected. You've been infected. Call support. Call support. And it's like, what the heck? It can be very discombobulating to somebody. All right. But that's what happened to this person. She said, called the number. She thought she was talking to Microsoft Tech. Helped clean her PC. Had me go through lots of screens. And finally told me that my bank accounts had been hacked for several amounts larger than 10K. She then connected me with the real scammer. I lost thousands because I was too frightened to stop doing what I was told. Yeah, person lost thousands of dollars to this tech support scam. Because that's what they do with these viruses and these tech support scams. Once you're on the phone with them, the same thing with the fake order scams. Once you're on the phone with them, the narrative switches. It goes from like, oh, you've been infected with a virus. It switches to, oh, well, whoever affected you has access to your bank accounts and your money's not safe and you got to withdraw it now before they get into it, right before they take your money. And it causes this whole snowball effect. These tech support scams, this goes back to what I mentioned earlier when we were talking about letting people connect to your computer, how it's a red flag and you shouldn't let strangers connect to your computer. This tech support scam is a prime example of that, right? You should already have in mind, if something goes wrong with your device, if you get some scary pop-up on your machine, you should already have in mind the person you're going to call for tech support, right? That family member, the person you work with, right? you should already have somebody in mind, so you're not tempted to even let these strangers onto your device. But anyway, yeah. Person lost thousands of dollars, tech support scam. Get these fake pop-ups. Don't call that number. Let's look at one more batch of scams here. Let's see. Hopefully these next 4 are good. I received an email from a friend, and my friend... Oh, good. This is the Evite one that we opened up with. The first scam we talked about on this live stream was the fake Evite. The Punchbowl and Evite emails that are going out. And here's a report about one. I received an email from a friend in my... I received an email from a friend's email. Friend of friend. I don't know, she just... Whatever. She got an email from a friend. I opened the email and it said it was an Evite. When I clicked on the link, I received an error message from Gmail. I'm not sure if just clicking on the email compromised my information or that this error message stopped the potential hacking. I have left messages with my friends via Facebook and many on my email contacts and changed most of my passwords. Don't know if she got infected or not. It's possible. But yeah, this goes back to that the first scam we talked about this evening. These fake Evite scams. Right, you get an email, looks super legit. Has the Evite logo, Punchbowl. It comes from your friend's email address. So you think you could trust it. But if this had been real, it actually wouldn't have come from a friend's email. It would have came from Punchbowl or Evite email address. Right? Because what happens is once they open this, then get infected, then they start emailing their friends with the same scam. But yeah, there's a report about this. When we opened, this is what we opened the live stream with, talking about that specific scam. So still circulating. Still circulating. Watch out for that. If you get any kind of Evites, Punchbowl or Evite.com emails that look like they came from a friend, don't click that link. And say call the friend instead. Call the friend instead to confirm. It's a scam that we're seeing more and more reports about that. Government imposter scam. Email from Social Security saying my accounts will be frozen if I didn't send $2,000 in Bitcoins. There we go. We talked about that type of scam earlier when we were talking about the unusual forms of payment. And you know, I mentioned that it's always a red flag when a government agency, someone claiming to be with a government agency, is trying to get you to send them gift cards or Bitcoin, crypto, telling you to go use a Bitcoin ATM, right? Because government agencies do not accept those forms of payment. It's 100% a scam if somebody's claiming to be from Social Security or the IRS and they're trying to get you to pay with Bitcoin. And that's what happened with this person, this report. They got an email claiming to be from Social Security, using the threats that your accounts could be frozen unless you pay, right? Trying to get them to react and tell them to go send Bitcoin. Be aware of it. And this last report here that we're going to look at. Fraudulent sales scam. Let's see. Mention Zelle too. This might be a good one. I sold a picture frame. The person claimed that sent me a payment via Zelle, then texted from this number saying that I had to call Zelle customer support because the money he sent was on hold. I called and realized it was a scam. Uses Richard Baker's name. Oh, that's an interesting one. You know, we mentioned Zelle a little bit. You know, Zelle's always a red flag. But in this case, you know, it sounds like the person was selling things online and they sold the picture frame or whatever. And then they get a fake text claiming to be from Zelle customer support. And they go into their whole narrative, probably trying to get them to transfer money from the Zelle to the scammer. Maybe they tell them they need to secure their account, or I wish they get more details about what the scam was. But you need to be careful on these marketplace websites where you're selling things. There's a couple different versions of these Zelle scams that we've seen, right? So you'll give your email address for somebody to Zelle you money, or your phone number for somebody to Zelle you. And then what they'll do is they'll take that information and they'll actually target you with a Zelle scam. They'll impersonate Zelle, right? They'll say there's something wrong with your account. Click this link to confirm, or to get a fake website, steal your payment details. So if you use Zelle and somebody wants to use Zelle, Be careful. Lots of scams. And look, again, Zelle's a nightmare to work with. I dealt with this a couple weeks ago. They're a nightmare to work with. It's very hard to get your money back once it's sent to scammer through Zelle too. So watch out for that. I think this is probably a good one to wrap up the live stream on. Covered a lot today. Just hit the 2-hour mark here. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining this week's live stream. Dave, John, Katie, Matthew, all the regulars. If you're still there, I appreciate you all. Thank you for tuning in. Even if you're just listening in the background, it still helps. For anybody new out there, don't forget to join our free mailing list, scamware101.com. Hit join mailing list. We'll send you some useful scam awareness tips, reminders when we're going live. And we're going to be back again next week. Same time, same place, 5:45 p.m. every Thursday over here on YouTube. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe. We're on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky. So hop on over there, give us a quick follow, subscribe, like. And if you're feeling generous, scoop up some merch. Help support the mission. You get your own Scamware 101 coffee mug in our YouTube store. Water bottles, mouse pads, stickers. We have super chats enabled over on YouTube. If you want to tip a few bucks, we always appreciate it. But don't feel obligated. Times are tough. We have memberships enabled. Again, shout out to Dave and Katie for being members. Appreciate you. And everybody have a great night. Great weekend. Hope to see you next week on the live stream. Until then, stay safe. I'm Jared with Scamware 101. I'll play some tunes while I get these live streams shut down.
Got a text on your phone saying password expired. Link look weird, but your thumb feel wired. They fishing for the keys to your whole damn life. One tap, now they swimming in your bank late night. Dear customer, copy paste same line. Spelled your name wrong, can't even fake the design. Buzz in your pocket, yo, click for the check, click for the virus, click, lose respect. Scamware 101, Jared, break it down. If it sound too sweet, better turn it around. Cash, fast love, miracle and cash. Hit the lead, not the link. We ain't falling for that. Scamware 101, say it with your chest. Call them out, got the number, treat it like a test. If your gut say run, then you follow that drum. Scamware, class has begun.
You must go to the store and buy gift cards.
Stop! It's a scam!
My uncle works at a hedge fund and gives me insider trading tips. Download this trading app.
Stop! It's a scam!
My bank suddenly needs my password, my PAN, and my first pet's social security number.
Stop! It's a scam!
This is urgent. You can't hang up.
Get lost, scammer.
They slide in your DMs, hey friend, long time. Photo look perfect, but the grammar ain't right. Click this link, your package on hold, but you never ordered. That story feel old. They rush you, they push you, act fast, don't wait. Soon as there's pressure, you step on the brakes. Dare break it down, plain talk, no gloss. If they hate your questions, that's your sign to walk off. Red flags, listen when he talks. Dare got the map when the road feels dark. If it sounds too sweet, then you step back smart. We don't get scammed, yeah, we guard our hearts. Hey, red flags, learn them by heart. Scam awareness class, that's the hardest part. But he slow it right down, so we all take charge. We don't get scammed, we don't get scarred.
You must go to the store and buy gift cards.
Stop! It's a scam!
My uncle works at a hedge fund and gives me insider trading tips. Download this trading app.
Stop!